Always great to check in with the Mayor of Burlington, Marianne Meed Ward. And Mayor, let's look ahead here. This upcoming Monday, the Budget Committee convenes. Obviously, the budget is already out there as far as the proposal goes. What happens on this day, and what do you think may be the hot button issues for this year in this budget?
Well, what happens is that council members can bring amendments. So they can suggest increases, cuts, rearranging things. We want this, but we don't want it funded that way. So it's kind of, nothing changes except the funding source. So it's really hard to say what might be coming. We've heard from folks certainly about affordability being a concern. We've tried to address that in the existing budget, but there's always a possibility there would be more amendments to try and bring the tax rate down without, doing too much damage to capital, infrastructure, state of good repair, all of those good things that we rely on. So I don't know yet. A couple of days, we'll all know what the amendments are to the budget, and then we have Monday set aside, Thursday if we need it. Then it goes to a special council meeting the following Monday to ratify it. And that's how we followed the budget last time. But of course, under the new legislation, in theory, should I choose, I could veto some of those amendments, and then council could override me with a 2/3 vote. So we didn't need that last year. I doubt we'll need it or use it this year, but that's always, that's always out there as a possibility. So at the end of this whole process, though, the goal is that the budget isn't the mayor's, it isn't staff's, it's actually the community and council's budget at that point, because they've all, everyone's had a chance to weigh in and give their feedback and try to influence it.
That is always the goal, of course, taking everyone's thoughts into account here and trying to make everyone happy, which can never happen. We know that. But we try. That's the goal.
We try.
All right. Let's talk about, the ongoing expansion of Burlington. Building up is a lot of what we speak about here on the show. Now, city staff have recommended the approval of the Branthaven Development Corporation's Oval Court subdivision application. Now, this plan includes a mix of 11 to 30-story towers, up and down, but it is by the Appleby GO station. So according to the long-term plan that we've been talking about, I expect hence the approval.
Yeah, and this project has a long history of a number of different approvals by different tables. So the actual built form with the number of towers and the height, that was approved through a settlement at the Ontario Land Tribunal. What we were approving is the subdivision or the lot patterning of the site. So it's now going to be divided into 8 different blocks, and that's what council approved. But it's another opportunity to say to folks, look, this is coming. This is going to be built at some point in phases over the next few years, and it's an opportunity, as you said, to remind folks that this is where we want to see this kind of density. We want it around our GO stations, right next to a park. There will be some green space on site. There will be retail. They've got lots of plans. So I do encourage people to take this opportunity, now that it's kind of in your mind again with the subdivision agreement, to look at the whole project and what is coming to the community with that project.
Now, on the flip side of things, let's chat about 2030 Carolyn High Rise, the application for 2030 Carolyn, that is. Staff has recommended a refusal here. What are the issues on the other side of this?
Staff did recommend a refusal, and council supported that, and that will go to council for final sign off next week. What was proposed is over 20-story high rise, and this is a plot of land with a lot of history. It actually predates my own time on council. It was one of the files that I became aware of as a community member, went to those town halls. It was proposed for a 17-story building, which has been built. 6 to 8-story parking garage, 6 to 8-story medical center. And it was supposed to be built as a comprehensive block plan. They came back and said, we need to build the 17-story first to get our money to build the rest of it. Council of the day allowed them to do that. Now they've come back and said, and there was supposed to be actually 60 public spaces minimum in that parking garage for public use, because we sold them a piece of land that was a city parking lot, to make this whole block plan work, and said, well, we want to get that plus some parking out of the deal. That's registered on title. And then of course the medical center, which, you know, my own family doctor was supposed to move into, and now is up on Walker's Line, which is not great. I could have walked to this, did walk to her when she was downtown. You know, that's what we want. So they've said not doing the medical center, not doing the public parking. Instead, we just want this high rise, and for that and a whole host of other reasons, including it's in a floodplain. The staff said, yeah, this is not what we see as good planning in this location. There's some details to work out, and so they recommended refusal. And I hope that the applicant will kind of go back to the drawing board and say, look, you know, and we as a council, the current council, reinforced that vision of the parking garage and medical center in our most recent OP update. So that is the current vision on record of the council for that site. This is wildly different and does not deliver some of the benefits to the community that we would have wanted it to. So I hope they take this opportunity of this refusal, very clear refusal, to you know, to reassess and maybe come in with something that's closer to the vision.
All right, well, that lays out the details on both of those planned subdivisions and a little bit about your doctor as well. We thank you for your time, Mayor. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. Thank you.